massive data breach.
Exposed private information.
First were victims of a
T-Mobile
data breach.
$350 million settlement.
February 2025. The French police storm an apartment. Inside, a 25-year-old British hacker who spent years selling Pentagon secrets, leaking healthcare data, and mocking the FBI, until one unbelievably stupid mistake exposed him. This is IntelBroker, a cybercrime prodigy who was seen as unstoppable turned cautionary tale. From swatting people as a teen to infiltrating Europol and the United States government, only to be undone by his own ego. How did this seemingly untouchable criminal get caught by the stupidest mistake he could have made? Every hacker has an origin story, but this one doesn't start with some child prodigy writing flawless code. It starts with a bored teenager in England and the distant wail of police sirens. His name was Kai West, 17 years old, and by the time the National Crime Agency kicked down his door, he'd already decided what he wanted to be.
I'm arresting you, okay, on suspicion of bomb hoax, blackmail, and issuing threats, okay? Okay. You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned something which you later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence.
This was his idea of fun. Not data breaches, not espionage, just chaos. Fake bomb threats called in for a laugh. To him it was a game. The NCA filed a police report. Most text is redacted, but there's only one visible line. Where others saw a dangerous kid, the NCA saw potential, and they thought they could redirect it. They put him in a trainee program at the NCA and clear his records. For a while, it almost worked. For 2 months, he played the part, even landing a cybersecurity analyst position at Barracuda Limited. He earned certifications. The perfect cover story. Every hacker needs a home, and in early 2023, Kai, who now goes as IntelBroker, found his. Breach Forums, a massive marketplace I've covered in a previous video. He began selling leaks, almost anything he could get his hands on. What started as a small-time data dump quickly became a thriving business, and business was booming. But IntelBroker wanted more than money. He wanted dominance. He wanted an army. His rules, his team, his growing empire, and most importantly, more hacks and more money. IntelBroker wasn't just another hacker selling credit cards. He specialized in targets that would make headlines and enemies. His first big score came from a misconfigured server at US telecom giant T-Mobile. 3,569 files, 500,000 in Monero, and suddenly everyone knew his name. But he didn't charge for every single one of his leaks, because free leaks built his reputation. But the paid jobs, those built his empire. An empire where he claimed to be Serbian. Said he was hiding in Russia for security reasons.
Ich habe mit 20 Jahren mit dem Hacken angefangen. Ich wusste anfangs nicht, wo ich genau anfangen sollte, da ich damals in Serbien einfach nur als normaler Netzwerktechniker gearbeitet hatte. Aber es reichte aus, um mich dazu zu bringen, nach Russland zu ziehen. Speziell nachdem der Artikel von der Five Eyes Intelligence über mich erschien.
But the truth, he never even set foot in Russia. It was just another persona in a life built on lies. Despite that, in August of 2024, But that wouldn't really last for long. Only a few months later, and just as quickly as he rose, he walked away. But in the world of cybercrime, no one really retires. December 2024, the FBI Cybercrime unit makes their move. They've been watching IntelBroker for months, tracking his every transaction, mapping his digital footprint, and they found his weakness: arrogance. An undercover agent initiates contact, posing as a buyer. They negotiate a deal: $1,000 for stolen healthcare records. IntelBroker, usually meticulous about using Monero, gets sloppy. Just this once, he accepts Bitcoin. The important thing to note is that Monero wraps every transaction in layers of encryption, scrambling sender, receiver, and amount. But with Bitcoin, every payment is permanently engraved on a public ledger. And this single $1,000 transaction just gave the FBI everything they needed. IntelBroker transfers the funds to a particular Coinbase account. The agents watch as the Bitcoin moves from their undercover wallet to an exchange account. Then, the real work begins. They dig deeper into the blockchain, following older transactions. A pattern emerges. Small test payments from another account, one linked to a UK driving license. The driving license of a person named Kai West. The same Kai West whose student email was used to register security training courses. The FBI filed a warrant to get access to his personal email. Here, they scroll through every single email ever sent and received, and they find his driver's license. But the FBI weren't done there. They dig even deeper. They notice a video on his YouTube watch history. A minute after he watches it, he posts the video to breach forums. The FBI are now sure this is their man. For Kai, it's over. February 2025. French cybercrime units receive the alert. IntelBroker's real IP address surfaces near Paris. The trap springs at 4:12 a.m. on February 22nd. No dramatic standoff. Just a tired hacker in sweatpants, halfway through dumping another corporate database. The man who sold NSA secrets, who leaked millions of medical records, who built a $2 million empire, was undone by a single moment of carelessness. In the end, IntelBroker didn't lose to the FBI's technology. He lost to their patience and his own growing arrogance. As of the making of this video, IntelBroker sits inside a jail cell somewhere in France. A likely sentence of over 20 years hangs above his head. As the cell door clangs shut for the last time, one truth becomes clear. In the digital age, no one disappears completely, not even IntelBroker.